Well, they did it. They did it. They did it. They did it exactly like I said they would. Frontier dropped a brand new Galnet article on us almost an hour after my Taco Tuesday video went live this morning. And here we are, having to do it again, because like I promised, and I said if they do something and it was interesting, worth going over, I figured I would take the shot. Good evening, campers, and welcome aboard the Starship Nightwish. I'm Commander Exorcist, and it is time, once again, for Talk-O Tuesday. This is my weekly Elite Dangerous show where I pick a Galnet article, read it, talk about it, primarily from a lore perspective, but I will break the fourth wall if necessary, and quite often it is necessary. Like today, with the rather sporadic and unusual pace in which we've been getting Galnet articles. So earlier today we talked about Sirius and its financial issues related to competition from Achilles Aerospace and what's going on with that. This afternoon, though, we got something a little more interesting. So I read the first couple of lines of this article and knew that, yes, I really needed to cover for this one before it potentially blows up in our faces. You know, you could probably say that Frontier's Galnet cadence is a little bit unhinged. Let's get started. Aegis. Be alert for Thargoid counterattacks. No kidding? Really? Aiden Tanner. Hey, it's always good to have the former Admiral Aiden Tanner back with us. Special military advisor to the Aegis project has warned of the potential for targeted Thargoid assaults on key military locations. Speaking during a recent graduation ceremony for the latest batch of federal AX recruits, Tanner warned against complacency following the destruction of Titan Thor last month. We've talked a little bit about that, the need to not be complacent. We've eliminated a huge percentage of the Thargoids' assault force, but that doesn't mean that we've, eliminated their resolve. So we do need to really be cautious with our approach going forward. Now, if you were around before the Titan War, you would know that, or you may remember the alert systems that we used to have, the stations that would be attacked. So there was a point in time prior to the Thargoid Wars, we know it, where random starports across the bubble would be attacked by the Thargoids. And so there would be an attack. The station would be heavily damaged. Eventually, it would go into kind of a shutdown mode and then a recovery mode. There was like a green mist and some like caustic stuff that was all over the station. But ultimately, the stations would be abandoned. Now, there were different operations that you could run. You could run some recovery missions. You could run AX combat to try to take out, the interceptors and everything that was attacking the station. So there were options for a lot of different things. Plus, it made for fantastic photography and videography. So there was a little bit of something in it for everyone. And I had heard briefly, just as a discussion amongst some community members, that this could be, maybe a sign of the return of activities like that. It'd be kind of neat to actually see some of that kind of activity return to the bubble outside of the Thargoid war zone itself. Because in a situation like this where the Thargoids are facing defeat after, just bludgeoning humanity to death, and suddenly they're down to just 2 Titans left, they would get desperate. And it seems like that they would really start throwing resources at, some key military installations in the bubble that could potentially inhibit our ability to, say, launch another assault against the forces guarding the next 2 Titans. We'll have to see what happens. It may seem that we have the upper hand in this war. There's no shame in taking pride in our accomplishments, and we're certainly in a better place than when the Thargoid invasion started. We really are. We're doing a lot better. That's not up for debate. But the Thargoids are just as dangerous as they've ever been. Entering a conflict zone with anything less than full focus would be a terrible mistake. And he's right about that. They're still deadly. So even messing around the Titans, even though we've kind of gotten used to it and we've developed kind of a methodology for it, it's still dangerous. It's still something to be cautious about when we're doing it. Think of how hard you'd fight if you thought the Thargoids were driving our fleets back a little further each day. That's the situation our enemy finds themselves in. That is a very, very, very good way to look at it, because it recognizes that the Thargoids may be reaching a point of desperation. And when a military force is desperate, they can be capable of anything. In fact, while our forces push the remaining 2 Titans, Aegis is always watching for counterattack efforts behind our front lines. We know the Thargoids can travel via portal technology. Uh-oh. We do know that. And that's actually not something that I think we really discuss a lot, because I think a lot of times we consider the fact that, the Thargoids have frameshift drive technology, because the SCO drive is a derivative of Titan drive technology. And so they have their own version of the FSD, and you'll see them like kind of warp in and out of the areas where they're operating. And I think a lot of times we as humans, we look at that and go, oh, that's their FSD, when a lot of times that's portal technology. That's a jump portal from one place to the other. So, it may be witch space as we know it, or it may be something completely different. We know they're able to pull us out of witch space. And so it's really concerning. And I'm kind of surprised that we haven't worked on any kind of interdiction technology, something to protect against Thargoid portal generation. There's got to be some way to analyze, say, the frequencies that are generated for to create those wormholes, those portals, and find a way to block them. There has to be. But it's really surprising. Again, it falls back to things like Sirius, where they've had years and years and years and access to all kinds of advanced technology, and they haven't taken advantage of that opportunity to make a difference as far as counter-war efforts. It's really frustrating. My God, the more I think about it. Allowing them to spring ambushes on our ports beyond any fleet blockades. That was that's the stations I was talking about. So the different stations that would be attacked, and they would enter into like an evacuation status. And so you could go in and evacuate passengers and make a pretty good profit off of it. And then you would have a shutdown and recovery time for them. What we're less clear on is how the aliens assign value to potential targets. That's really interesting that we've gone this far in a war and they don't have any idea. Well, I say less clear. It says less clear. So they may have some idea. But, sometimes the Thargoids attack really random stations and we don't exactly know why. So, it would be interesting to kind of learn a little bit about why they chose, like, why did they choose the systems that they did to park the Titans? Why didn't they park a Titan over top of Achenar? Because they knew that we didn't have the technology to go after them. It took us a while to build it up. Why did they not park a Titan over top of Earth? They don't need a permit. It doesn't matter if you permit lock Earth. They can just go right into Sol if they wanted to. So it's really kind of strange. Important systems are well protected, but we're playing catch-up when predicting the Thargoids' next move. And he's right. We don't know. I'm kind of surprised that the Thargoids have sit back and let us take out as many Titans as they have. I'm not convinced they're going to let us have the next 2 without a fight. When you join our AX forces in combat for the first time, remember, look out for each other and always expect the unexpected. I wonder if the look out for each other is a knock on the recent controversy where commanders destroyed some NPC AX pilots because they were aggroing the Titan. Just a thought, maybe. Always expect the unexpected. Look, Aegis is right about that, okay? And, if you enter into a war, especially a war like this, and you're thinking that it's going to go all according to plan, okay, you don't understand war. You don't get it. We still don't understand. You have to treat the Thargoids as an unknown, unpredictable enemy. Even if we know that we're going to be able to waltz in and take out the next 2 Titans with relative ease, we can't act like that. We have to be ready for anything. We have to be ready for the very real possibility that we drive the Titan, the next Titan, we drive it down to where we're ready to engage, and we fire our nanite missiles, and guess what? The ship doesn't overheat. The core never comes out. There's no way for us to attack it. And then we have to come up with something else. And so all of a sudden, the Titans are once again invulnerable. What if they find a countermeasure to the way that we've been taking them out? We've taken out 6 of them the same way. You'd think that an intelligent race of beings would have figured out a countermeasure to an attack that is very consistent over each Titan. You'd think they'd be ready for that. And I have a feeling that they might be in the coming weeks. But we will just have to wait and see. I thought about waiting on this article. So when this article came out, and just kind of breaking the wall for a moment to talk as me, when I saw this article, I'd already done the video today, and I was thinking, you know what? I don't know if I want to do this, but what if I don't? FOMO. I had a genuine FOMO moment. What happens if something really big is coming? We know some big things are coming. We know things are coming. Trust me, big things are coming because we've got Power Play 2.0 on the way. All right. There are changing dynamics in the galaxy and how things work. And whether we like it or not, whether the Thargoids like it or not, the last of the Titans are it. Okay. They are the last stand for this phase of the war. And I say phase because I don't think it's going away. So when we get to the point where we've destroyed the next 2 Titans, if we're that lucky, something else is going to come. It has to. It's just the way of things. It seems like every time, and all you have to do is look back at Salvation. It seems like every time we poke them, something bigger comes. You beat something, and something worse comes. And, I don't know if there's actually going to be an end to this. And if there is, I'm not sure what kind of weapon it's going to take to make it happen. We'll just have to keep pressing on and see. Hey, everybody, these are the Disciples. If you would like to help support this channel and keep things running, patreon.com/Commander Exorcist is where you want to be. And that is going to be all for the second edition of Taco Tuesday today. 2 videos, actually 3 if you count the Exploration and Chill that came out yesterday. So I have been a busy bee, and I'm going to take a few days off at this point. But keep your eyes peeled. Watch your backs, because something's cooking. Something is going on. And, I hope that it isn't just Aegis propaganda. I hope that Aegis really has intel when they sit up and say, hey, be ready for this because things may not go our way. Okay. Don't lie to us. Don't lie to me. Okay. I'm always ready, but I'm extra ready when you tell me to be extra ready. If that makes any sense to anyone. We have to be careful, and we have to be realistic about the fact that the Thargoid War is not over, and the 2 Titans that we're about to take down, they may just be the key to starting the next phase. And we may not be ready for that, because what if the next phase starts in our backyard? Everybody, I'm Commander Exorcist. Take care, fly safe, and I will see you out there. Good night, everybody.